Hello and welcome to Saltwire Today for Tuesday, June 14th. I'm your host, Kate Walker. A Halifax woman is recovering after being attacked by a raccoon. 31-year-old Grace Murphy was attacked on her front porch around 8:30 Saturday night after a raccoon jumped out from underneath a set of air conditioning units near the back stairs that led to her second-floor apartment on Cornwall Street. The woman says the raccoon continuously bit her and held on, leaving 16 puncture wounds. Her neighbor eventually heard her screams and came to the rescue. When she got to the emergency room, she was treated for rabies as a precaution, but learned there's no way to tell if the raccoon had rabies unless she were to develop it later on. Nova Scotia is designating Owl's Head as the province's next provincial park. The protection of 266 hectares of Crown lands at Owl's Head in Little Harbour was announced today. The Department of Natural Resources will manage Owl's Head as a natural park reserve. They say this is an opportunity for the public to give input on how the land is used. Owl's Head was the center of controversy after efforts were made to buy the Crown land to build a golf resort. There was a court battle to protect the land that was dismissed by the judge, who said it was an issue that should be decided at the ballot box, not the courtroom. The now provincial park will be open to the public, but there will be no services available. A 25-year-old man was in Halifax Provincial Court today to face a first-degree murder charge in a shooting death back in March. Mikhail Skinner was arrested yesterday and appeared in court via video link from the Dartmouth jail today. He's been charged in the death of 25-year-old Trayvon Bradshaw, who was gunned down in the 2100 block of Gottingen Street around 2:30 a.m. on March 18th. Police are still searching for the other suspects in connection with the murder. In late April, police released these blurry video screen captures of people of interest. The case is set to return to court July 15th to set dates for a preliminary inquiry. Police are releasing a photo of a man wanted in a series of indecent acts in Dartmouth last month in hopes that he will be identified. On May 27th, police say they responded to a report of an indecent act that happened in the drive-thru of the McDonald's on Main Street around 4 a.m. They say he exposed himself to staff while waiting for an order. Later that morning, police received a second report of an indecent act concerning the same man, this time around 5 a.m. in the Tim Hortons drive-thru on Pleasant Street, exposing himself again. The suspect is described as a white man between the ages of 25 and 30, short brown or blonde hair with facial hair and blue eyes. His vehicle is described as a maroon 2010 to 2015 Honda Civic with 4 doors. Leaving your home behind and moving halfway around the world for the safety of your family is a struggle that most of us will never have to face, but it's become a reality for Ukrainians fleeing the Russian invasion of their homeland. The upheaval is especially hard on children who have to leave friends and loved ones behind and adapt to new surroundings and an unfamiliar language. For one family on a stopover in Halifax, celebrating a daughter's 8th birthday was going to be a low-key affair until a call-out on social media turned it into a party she'll never forget. Saltwire's Stephen Cook has the details.
8-year-old Masha Starenchuk arrived in Nova Scotia with her family on a flight with other Ukrainian refugees on June 2nd, with only what they could carry, with her father and her grandmother staying behind in Kyiv. A volunteer helping Ukrainian newcomers get resettled in Canada learned that it would be Masha's 8th birthday while she was in Halifax, awaiting a flight to a new home in Saskatchewan. In a post on the social media platform Reddit, they asked if anyone could help arrange a birthday celebration for her at the Oval on Halifax Commons on Monday, and volunteers stepped up with presents, gifts, and treats. Masha's mother, Anastasia, said the outpouring of support was a welcome surprise.
She has a birthday, but her friends stay in Ukraine. And she found here 2 of Ukrainian. And when she knew that we came here, she doesn't know that we'll provide such meeting for her. So she's exciting a lot.
North End resident Jade Fraser saw the Reddit post, and as a parent, she knew she'd have to do something to help Masha have a happy birthday. She got up early with her son Lewis to make a special cake and helped with delivering presents.
It really just struck a chord in me, seeing how knowing that someone can be so far from home and getting that sense of alienation and sadness, and after all they've been through, it was really it was really enough to like say, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever it takes. I mean, a birthday party is definitely something I can help with. And yeah, that's how we got involved.
It has been a long journey for the Sterenchuk family, leaving Kyiv on March 1st and coming to Nova Scotia via Poland and then Cyprus, with one last flight this week before they arrive at their new home with a host family in Saskatchewan. Anastasia says that Masha misses her family and friends who've either stayed behind or left the Ukraine, but has been pleased by the hospitality she's experienced in Canada to make her stay here a special one.
She liked here very much. First of all, she knows a little bit English, and for her it's very probably easy to communicate in future. I like it. I don't know. Kids are really relief, after, because who knows what will be.
In Halifax, I'm Stephen Cook for the Saltwire Network.
It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with teacher and educational columnist Grant Frost about fetal alcohol spectrum disorder.
Tell me a little bit about how you arrived at this piece, what it is that you were hoping to help educate us on.
Well, there's a couple of things. First, it's fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. And the reason why it's called spectrum disorder is because there's a spectrum, much like autism. And I had a great opportunity at the conference to speak to a lady who's involved with the FASD network in Australia. And to put sort of our own geography on what she told me, she said basically children from the south end get diagnosed with autism, children from the north end get diagnosed with FASD. The stigma hasn't gone away. Certainly there was also a stigma for a long time that this was a First Nations issue. And that has some interesting roots as well. The reason why it got that moniker is because it was actually First Nations groups out west who were sort of looking for answers and trying to support their own children. And there was some work done at the University of Washington without that parent advocacy by the First Nations communities, we wouldn't even know about FASD. So the challenge we face too is the prevalence of alcohol use in our society, which, I'm not a teetotaler, so I'm not here to preach. But we also have knowledge that when a child is conceived, they can be impacted by the use of alcohol as early as 5 days after conception. So if you can imagine the length of time from conception to when a parent might actually find out that they're pregnant, a family might find out that they're pregnant, you could easily be doing your average daily sort of summertime in Nova Scotia, backyard barbecue, campfire, social drinking, and not even be aware that you're carrying a child or that you're impacting the child.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of saltwire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Here's part 2 of my conversation with Eastern Canadian Basketball League President Tim Kendrick. And after 2 days of tryouts in Truro, it seems that some players may be signing on the dotted line.
I can honestly say right now that I think that there'll be a minimum of 3 contracts coming out of this league, for that first season and starting in March 2023. And, again, we were thrilled with the players that came, and we're going to reward guys for coming out and trying to make a club in the ECBL. We have a player list right now that have already applied to the league of around 400 players. But we've already added more now because I think there's at least 30 registered now in LA for the Combine, and there's more in New York. So, one of the things for us is now we're looking at another Combine that we can have here, a tryout here in the Maritimes, and it'll be, either in the early fall or even late summer. We just haven't set a date yet, Scott.
Something that Kendrick and the league want fans to know is that the ECBL will be more than just basketball.
We're going to be in the communities, and we're going to do the best we can for every community. We're going to bring a high level of play in terms of our league, but mostly we want to really do stuff in the Maritime provinces that are going to benefit people of the Maritimes and specifically the communities we're in. We want to bring business and help with that stuff, but also bring something for the young people. I mean, we want people in schools to understand we want to come in and help them. We want the Boys and Girls Clubs and, any of those special clubs that maybe need a little help, we're going to do our best to help them out. But we want to benefit the communities that we're in and be a benefit to the Maritimes.
You can visit ecbl.ca for more information on the league. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now. To see what's coming up in the forecast, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, it was another gray, damp day here in the Halifax area. We had showers, drizzle, and fog around. Some good news, though, in the forecast if you are looking for some sunshine. But first, we will continue to have showers and drizzle this evening. It will gradually taper off, though, later this evening into the overnight hours. The temperature near 13 this evening, waking up near 12 on Wednesday morning with a mix of sun and cloud. Heading into the afternoon, lots of sunshine and a high of 22 degrees. Now, a ridge of high pressure will build into the region on Wednesday and continue on Thursday, so lots of sunshine in the forecast on Thursday. Temperatures also expected to climb up into the mid-20s. Now, unfortunately, this ridge will not be staying with us. Wet weather is set to gradually return on Friday, and wet weather possible during the upcoming weekend, too. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com. And you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Saltwire Today. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.